Okay, welcome back as we continue our series on Pirkei Avot. We are on day 3, on the third Mishnah of the first chapter, and we're going to be introduced to a new character today. The Mishnah starts out, Antigonus ish Socho kiba mishimun hatzadik. So this guy, Antigonus, a man of this area called Socho, received from Shimon Hatzadik, who we discussed not too long ago. Hu haya omer al tiyu kavadim hameshamshin et harav al menas lekava pras. That you should not serve your master as if somebody who is expecting to receive a reward for doing so. Rather, rather, you should serve your master, serve it as in God, without any expectation of receiving reward. And lastly, it says, and you should let the fear of heaven be upon you. So a couple of questions we're gonna define this fear, and also what does he mean to serve God in a way, or your master, meaning God, in a way that is not expecting reward, when in truth the Torah tells us in many other places that we will receive reward for our actions, for doing mitzvot, for learning Torah. So what does he mean by this? Antigonus, just as a side point, lived in the first half of the 3rd century BCE, and it's also more of a Greek name, which some say shows the influence the Hellenists had on culture at that point in time. And so let's break down just two ideas today. One is going to be by Rabbeinu Yonah, who says that serving in anticipation of reward, the reason why Antigonus is so against this expectation of reward is because it makes it a lesser form of service. You're not doing it for the sake of the service or because you care so much about your master. Rather, you're doing it only for the ulterior motive, for the thing that has nothing to do with the service. Rather, when you serve without any expectation of reward, you are imbued with a tremendous sense of pride in your work and a relationship with your master. And lastly, the Bartanura discusses this idea of why are we incorporating this fear, Vayera Shama Mora Shamayim Alechem, that this fear should be upon you even when you are serving. So he says, even though you serve out of love, you should also serve out of fear, that you have to have this duality. Now, there's a discussion whether or not it actually means fear. Some people say it really means awe. So like the idea of awesome is that we're in awe of who we're serving. But think about the person who serves out of love. They're so quickly concerned with positive commandments and less careful concerned with things that they're not allowed to do. They're driven by love. They want to do things for the people they care about, for their master that they care about. But when it comes to the things they're not supposed to do, they're less guided towards that. So you need to have this balance. You need to have the ability to say, I care a lot about my master, and I care a lot about this relationship, but I also fear them. That so much so the Gemara in Sota, in the Gemara in Yerushalmi, the oral tradition says that you should serve out of love and serve out of fear. You serve out of love, so if you're on the verge of hating, you know that you are a person who loves, and you'll always go back to that source. But on the flip side, for the one that loves, and for the one out of who serves out of fear, if you're on the verge of rejecting that which you're supposed to do, you should know that you're fearful. In the end of the day, you're going to go back to that source. And one who is fearful would not reject their responsibilities. So that is our lesson for today. Again, thank you so much for joining. 5 minutes of Pirkei Avot, of lessons throughout the ages. Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you tomorrow.